Prinsjesdag 2024. What can we expect from this new government? So let's focus on three topics. First of all, the housing market. No changes will occur in the mortgage interest tax deduction and the eigen woningforfait. That's a tax that homeowners pay. So no changes there. You pay the same tax and you get the same benefits. However, housing is a very important theme for this government. So a lot of money will be reserved to build more houses. 5 billion euros for house building and an additional 2.5 billion euros for infrastructure. Also, the government will take more initiative and will take the lead on a national level in order to make that goal of 100,000 houses every year possible. Then, that is the housing market. Then let's have a look at taxation. I expected a lot from the announcement that a new tax bracket will be introduced for the lower incomes. It used to be the case that up to an income of 76,000 euros, more or less, the tax rate was 37%. Now this new tax bracket is for incomes up to 38,000, and the lower tax rate is not 37%, but 36%. I expected a much lower rate. I expected that people with lower income would significantly see their tax bills lowered. But this difference is just a meager 1.15%. How is it paid for? Well, basically by the same people. There's a general tax credit, the algemene heffingskorting. That's a discount that everybody gets on their tax bill. So the people who get this lower tax rate, for a big part, pay their own benefit. People who are going to pay less taxes are business owners who pay themselves dividends when they pay themselves out more than 67,800 euros. The tax rate was 33%, will now be 31%. Then a very special point, the VAT or BTW, belasting toegevoegde waarde, that's the tax that people pay on services and goods. The government has the goals of simplification and just to get more income for the Dutch government. So what they planned to do, or what they are announcing, is to increase certain services like museums, theaters and books, who are currently paying a lower tax rate of 9%, and to increase the tax rate on these services to 21%. The low tax rate will still apply for amusement parks and for zoos, for example, but also for a camping where you bring your own tent, whereas a camping where the tent has already been set up and you just dive in, that camping will have to charge a higher tax rate. It will probably become a bit of a mess to make the administration correct. So we expect a lot of chaos, I expect it, but also the Raad van State, they also advise on the plans of the government, is predicting chaos. Well, then another important point, the third main point for this video, is income security or social security. This government has big plans to make the tax system and the government doleouts easier and make the people more confide in their governments. Some people in the Netherlands are really getting scared if they get the blue envelope from the Belastingdienst, which is not necessary. A government should be there to protect people and to help people out who need it. So what will they do? Schools will still be able to offer lunches for children who might need it. There will be a lot of attention and money for debt relief, people who need assistance with that. And some changes like the deduction on health insurance will be frozen, so the money that you have to pay from your own pocket will stay the same, and in 2027 will be halved. So some things already scheduled for 2025 and the rest we hope to see a lot there in the next years. So this was the overview of Prinsjesdag 2024 or the government's plans for 2025. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. We will reply to them as long as we're able to, of course. Stay up to date about what happens with these plans. Feel free to subscribe for our newsletter in the notes.